last week I talked about how we're in a very competitive market and how it's likely to be a seller's market for another 5 years. And it's because of that basic supply and demand issue. So if you didn't see that video, you might want to check it out. But today we're going to talk about 3 free ways you can set yourself apart in a very competitive market. Now I've got Julie from my team here. Julie has been in one of the most competitive markets in the country for over 10 years. And this is like nothing to her. So I am dealing with a bunch of different states right now where everyone's like, oh my goodness, I've never seen more than 2 offers. And coming from California, we're like, oh my God, there's only 2? What's wrong with the house? So Julie's gonna share, a couple of the ways she helps clients, our team helps clients stand out so that we have the ability to help you guys get in a house without you having to, suddenly become a billionaire and throw $100,000 over appraised value. Julie, take it away.
So the first thing that we encourage all of our clients to do in super competitive markets is to have your file underwritten with Red Air Express, which we love to call the golden ticket in our office, because once your file's pre-underwritten, you're pretty much as good as cash. You still need an appraisal, you still need the preliminary title reports, but you can go into an offer situation and basically submit your offer having already had the funds secured.
And we can actually show the listing agent and your agent a conditional loan approval, which is great. So this loan approval, and this is real. This is an underwriter's reviewed it. We've taken 25% of the loan process when you're usually in contract, and we're doing it before you're even in contract now, just to make it so A, you can move faster, but B, you look stronger. Being able to hand someone before you're even in contract a conditional loan commitment that's just based on getting that appraisal and she hates you. And the prelim, it's very powerful. And that's something we offer for free. We started doing this last week. Yes, we had done it in the past for years, but because of mortgage volume, we've only started offering it again last week because it's become, it's crazy. I feel like in the last month, it's switched so much into just the purchase market. The spring purchase market this year is bonkers. So make sure that the pre-approval you're getting is real, and go for the fully underwritten. It doesn't cost anything.
No, all you have to do essentially is bring your docs to the party.
Every time she says that, I just visualize like, hey Julie, here's my docs. Can I have my red arrow golden ticket, please? Ooh.
There you go.
Okay. So yes, you do want to get the strongest pre-approval you can. If you're just going online and you're like, oh, I got this, and it says that like they haven't reviewed anything, just take it. I want you to look at it, and you do know where this is going, and I want you to like ball it up and throw it away, because
it's garbage.
Yeah, and it's what the listing agents are going to do. So number 2.
Number 2 is speed and delivery.
The need for speed.
The need for speed
What
is
movie is
real. I'm not sure, but I'm sure we'll figure it out later.
Is that Keanu? Okay, sorry.
Keanu Reeves?
Yeah.
The one on the bus?
Was that need? Yeah.
That's speed.
That's speed. But okay, if anyone knows where the quote "need for speed" comes from, can you please put this in comments, because it will keep me awake tonight. Thank you.
So speed is super important because a competitive market demands that you deliver immediately. That's the bottom line. Whoever can bring that seller the money the fastest is the winner. Yeah. That's the bottom line. And that's why so many...
You know what I want to scream now, right?
Go ahead.
Show me the money! Woo! Like picture Cuba Gooding Jr. and Tom Cruise in that movie where he's like screaming at Tom Cruise, show me the money, and Tom Cruise is like ready to kill himself. That's basically every seller right now. Totally. And all the buyers.
Yeah. That's legit.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So anyway, lenders' ability to deliver is huge. And Jennifer mentioned a word, volume. Volume is still hugely impacting our industry. And a lot of lenders like to go for the easy business.
They do. Refinances. Yeah. Refinances are easy business because it doesn't actually matter when they close because you already live there. So what I'm seeing right now, and I'm seeing a lot of this with very easily known names, is to close on a purchase, they want 45 plus days. Good luck.
You're dead. Like your offer is in the garbage.
Yeah, and some people are like, well, isn't 45 days normal for a close? No, the only place 45 days is normal for a close is New York. Nowhere else.
Yeah, exactly. So speed is really important. And so back to the first tip that we gave you about the golden ticket, we're able to close really quickly because we're pre-underwriting files. That's cutting 2 weeks out of the loan process time.
Yep.
Typically, when a buyer gets into contract, it takes you, maybe 3-4 days to gather your documents. You're really excited. You're already started on your inspections. You're working a full-time job in most cases. You don't have a lot of extra time, so it takes you a few days to get those documents together. Then they need to go to processing. Someone has to review them. You get the point. We do that all on the front end before you're even in contract on a property, so that when you're in contract, we can actually deliver and we can do it really quickly.
Yeah, and we had this process in 2018 when it was a purchase market as well, and there wasn't as much mortgage activity, and we called it Fast Pass. And I remember we actually got the award for the quickest in the company because we had nailed it down to 12 days. Now, I'm not promising you guys that right now because appraisers are the bane of my existence, and they can definitely drag it out. But you want to make sure that whatever lender you're working with is not going to be the reason your offer's rejected. And if your lender's saying, I can't close until 45 days, your question needs to be, why? What are you giving me that is so great that I should have basically a smudge on my offer?
Yeah, and the truth of the matter is that our buyers are dealing with multiple offer situations. And so in that multiple offer scenario, half of those people offering are probably offering cash, right?
I mean, it depends on the state, but sure.
Yeah.
Like California, I mean, and we talked about this actually last week. We talked about all that baby boomer money that's coming into a lot of Florida, California, Texas is getting the tech money, but there's a lot of areas where people are selling their homes and making huge amounts of cash. And so that's why Julie's saying, but maybe... Yeah, I mean, it depends on the part of the country, but for sure, you can come up against that boomer cash.
So when you sort of put speed together with preparation, that's a winning combination to go and compete against some of the stronger buyers in that pool.
Well, and here's the thing, and sometimes people are like, well, it's cash, I'm never going to beat cash. Well, you can beat cash.
Absolutely.
Because just because it's cash doesn't mean it doesn't have other weird contingencies.
Absolutely.
It doesn't mean, I've seen people do cash offers with 45-day closes, and we're like, why? And they're like, well, they want all these inspections. Ooh, that, they don't love that.
Well, and that's an excellent point because I've had a lot of buyers over the last 6 months in the Bay Area that have not been cash, but they've been competing with cash offers, and a lot of times cash offers have different stipulations in the contract that are not as competitive. But if the buyers that are competing against a cash offer can't compete, meaning they're not pre-underwritten and they can't close quickly, then it's kind of a moot point. But if you're prepared to go up against a cash offer and your terms are better, because that's the other part of the equation. It's not only the delivery of the money, but it's also the terms of the offer. And if your terms of the offer are strong and your closing time is strong and your funds are already guaranteed.
Well, and also it's like, we've had a bunch of veterans recently where they've gotten their offers accepted because either the seller was a veteran or there was some sort of connection, to the military. And sometimes I'll see this with families too. I'll see I've seen offers accepted because in a lot of states, buyers can write a love letter to the seller. They can say, here's a picture of our family. This is why we love your house. There's a couple states where you can't. It's illegal. But the bulk of the country, you can write those letters. And we will see offers accepted because, I know if I sell my home, I've put so much blood, sweat, tears. Did we ever talk about my remodel? Blood, more tears. That I want to make sure it goes to someone who will appreciate it and treat it the way I did. So sometimes that can definitely, and if you have those first two factors, that definitely will put you in a better position.
Absolutely. And this sort of brings us to the last point. Number 3.
So I like to call Julie the realtor whisperer, and I'm supposed to call them realtors because I've had a couple people bring that up to me recently. The realtor whisperer.
And what she means by that is when you're choosing your lender and you're going through the process of getting pre-approved and securing your money, essentially, you need to be working with someone that understands the intricacies of your file.
Yeah.
They understand your whole picture inside out. They understand your debt to income, they understand your credit, they can speak to your job history, they can speak to your ability to basically perform.
But they have to have a good personality and be able to sell you, because that's what the lender's doing too.
Yeah.
You've got your realtor selling you, you've got your offer, in many cases you've got your love letter, but you also have, and people overlook this so much,
Absolutely.
but the lender calling on your behalf to the listing agent, and I mean, there's so many times I've been on the phone and I've been like, I'm praying you accept their offer, because she's called me 32 times today telling me how much she loves that house, and she's picking out sofas. So I really hope you take her offer, and they're so strong. I will close this quick. This will be the easiest thing in the world. They are lovely. They are nice. They are responsive. And here's the key. They are not going to mess around, because that's what listing agents and sellers hate. They all hate the buyers that mess around, don't get their docs in, aren't responsive, drag out escrow, never were qualified. That's their worst nightmare.
Absolutely. So you need someone that can absolutely speak to your file, and someone that can establish credibility on the front end with a listing agent. Mm-hmm. If your lender can't basically deliver not only your credibility in the conversation, but their own credibility and their own ability to get the job done, I mean...
Yeah, and that's important. So you'll hear a lot of times from realtors, they really don't want you working with a call center. And, we are not a call center. We are retail lenders. It's us through and through. But they're very concerned about call centers, because they don't want to deal with something where the listing agent's calling one person. Oh, wait, let me transfer you to Bob. Oh, Bob, can you get Jerry, you know what I mean? So you want to make sure that whatever lender you're working with is comfortable talking to realtors too, because there's a lot of people who, A, hate realtors and don't want to talk to them, or B, think it's not their job, so why would they do it? C, they're scared of them, so they stutter and they're like, I don't even know, or they don't know anything about the loaner guidelines. So if the realtor asks them tough questions, they can't actually sound intelligent.
Or they don't have answers, right? They don't have answers to basic guideline questions that could mean the difference between you getting your offer accepted or not. You have to, in this market, you have to have your A-team. If you don't have your A-team around you, mm-hmm. an awesome realtor, a lender who can deliver.
Yeah, and the realtors have never been more important. We hear a lot of Bob's sister's Becky's aunt does real estate sometimes. I'm going to use her. And I'm like, no. You need a negotiator.
Right.
Watch Shark Tank. You need Barbara. I love Barbara. Do you love Barbara?
I mean, I don't.
You
really
don't watch
know,
Shark Tank, do you?
I don't really know Barbara.
I know Barbara.
But I like shark. I mean, anything shark, I'm into.
Okay, you need to watch Barbara's TikToks.
Okay, I'm in.
Barbara's TikToks, guys. So I hope this video has been helpful.
Me too. Call us. Let's strategize. That's really the first step with anyone that's sort of starting to get their feet wet in the process. Or if you're in the process, you're on to property 5, 6, 7, and you haven't had an offer accepted, give us a call.
Yeah, because it could be sometimes you're working with a broken team, and that could be part of the problem. And sometimes it's just having a little, sprinkle of fairy dust and a little shine to your whole situation, mm-hmm. which makes the difference. And sometimes it's just a reality check as well. So, California Queen,
call me.
Licensed in 46 states. We're here for you.
We are your A-team.
We are the A-team.
We are your
need
A-team.
The van. Can someone please find me a lookup on that van? Thank you for watching, guys. We'll see you next week.